Hello everybody and welcome back to Starmade on the Shattered Skies Hardcore Survival Server! Some changes have been going through in the base, and it's about to be a lot more changes, so I'm going to dive right into the weekly whips and then get on to some future plans. Excuse me. Weekly whips projects. Again, no progress on the crazy banana harvester that I will be replacing eventually, or the catalyst, which did get to see a little bit about it last night. A little bit, not much. I'm thinking it's going to be going away at some point. I have moved up the uh, Magnetar, which is, I think, the work in progress title for this ship, and it has not gotten any work done to its engine room, although I have been trying to figure out kind of where I want to go. So what I decided to do, as you guys know, is start making some fighters and bombers to develop a style. And that has evolved pretty nicely, and I'm getting some really cool ideas. So just in case you missed it in the last episode, this is the Photon Fighter. It's a small, light tactical fighter. It's got two AMS cannons, two stop cannons, rapid fire, and currently it's got some jump drive modules and stuff in it because I was using it to fly around. I'm probably going to reformat those for a more powerful stop effect on the ship so that it can serve its tactical role of tying up turrets and slowing down larger capital ships. Over here we had the results of the whip from last week, and this is the Boson Bomber. So this guy's got a couple of pretty powerful missiles. I think they deal, gosh, I want to say they deal 70,000 damage apiece. And I'm trying to remember if I added any effect. I know, well, actually I don't know if they have damage beam increased range on them or not. I can't remember. It's actually been a little bit since I did this. I was pretty impressed with my ability to do some plaid on there without overdoing it. I did not want to overdo the plaid because I didn't want a giant plaid ship, as funny as that would be. The theme is starting to kind of push through with, some of the glowing bits. This one may be a little bit too glowy. The center stripes, or the vertical stripes here that you see on the side pods, I may pull those out eventually, but the style on this one is developing. So that's the completed version there. And then this is the Cruiser, currently working title of Carbonite. It's going to be an ion cruiser of sorts. So this is going to be where a large portion of damage comes out for the smaller fleet pod, which is what this is going to be. This is very, very work in progress, very flat at the moment. I'm just now starting to kind of try to sculpt out some of the shape. It took me probably I spent about a good 2 to 3 hours doing a flat wireframe, as in only one dimension flat, just trying to get the silhouette down, like the vertical silhouette, and I could not come up with anything that would make me happy and keep in line with the fleet as far as kind of the overall shape and design. It was actually really hard to get the kind of hammerhead piece on it to look just right. I'm not 100% sold on having the glowing bits going all the way through, but we'll see. I'm just kind of messing around with it right now. I build very haphazardly in the sense that I usually do not have a straight idea of where I want to go. I have kind of a vague idea, and then as I build, I just kind of let it dictate itself. When I do ships that have bigger interiors, I let the interior dictate the overall exterior of the ship. So this is a really big change for me by doing shells completely first, or almost completely, and then starting systems. So the Carbonite Cruiser, there will be, what I'm going to do here is all of these guys that you see right now and one additional cruiser will be docked to a frigate, a small compact frigate, and these ships will largely be docked to the outside of the frigate. And then the hope is to have some really sweet logic, or at least a little bit of logic. I'm not going to go out and say really sweet yet. Do some cool rail things, and be able to deploy these frigates as complete drone pods from the Magnetar. The Magnetar is now going to be a combat carrier, and I'm really, really, really excited and kind of terrified to get to the frigate on this thing. Because like I said, this Carbonite Cruiser here in the middle, I've spent 3 days so far on it, 2 or 3 days. Not 100% of every day, but a good chunk. So the frigate's probably going to take at least a week, especially if I end up getting in depth with the logic and stuff on that. I'm probably going to have to bring it to single player to test it, because I am going to start using like some push beams and things like that. So, because it's going to be a deployable fleet. I prefer to build in survival, but the Newtonian physics on this server means that a good test of things like deployable drones and things like that can go horribly wrong, or if it goes horribly wrong, definitely you're going to be chasing stuff down forever or just giving up on it. So I'll be testing some of that in single player for now, just working on the cruiser. Over here, this ship right here was a random gift at spawn for I don't know who, but I assumed me, because nobody else was around. It wasn't at spawn, actually. It was at 222, the spawn shop. But yeah, so I don't know who built it. It looks pretty slick. It's a little multi-purpose. It's got some missiles, and I think, and a salvage array on it. It looks pretty good. I like where this design went, and I haven't decided to tear it apart yet. I have decided to tear apart one of my other faction memberships because he hasn't been around for a week. I did blueprint them first and stashed everything that was used to make them in a little storage box just to get them out of the way, because I'm going to be completely rebuilding the base. The base is now, it started as an outpost, and it outgrew that situation very quickly and never got visually upgraded. I really would prefer to almost tear it apart completely, but I've got too many large ships kind of docked around here and things in progress, so I'm going to have to kind of build around some of it, and there's been a lot of adding rail docks and shifting things around and then docking them and then going and deleting stuff and moving things around, and there's going to be a lot more of that. So I'm probably not going to speed build this because I'm going to be spending a lot of time I'm going to set up new factories, because I want to set up advanced armor factories, standard armor factories, things like that, to be able to manufacture more things without having to go through and select everything individually like I have been. I'm getting to the point where I want to make bigger stuff. I want to make larger chunks of stuff. So I'm going to be reconfiguring all of that. And I'm going to continue work on the cruiser back and forth. And then once the cruiser is complete, I'll probably do another video. And I'll probably at that point also be started on the frigate, which that's going to be the real... I don't even know where I'm going to go with that, but you can see the way things are mounted right now is just a rough idea. I'll probably have the bombers mounted sideways on the sides, the cruisers mounted on the top and bottom, and then the fighters, I'm not 100% what I'm going to do with that yet. I've got a couple of different cool ideas of how I want to mess with it, but I don't know. I haven't decided, especially because they've got these little AMS turrets on them, and I've got to make sure to lock these down so that they don't move when they're being carried by the parent ship. Because if they move, it's going to be weird, and it's going to cause collisions when I try to eject them. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I'm not sure if I'm probably going to put a couple of AMS turrets on the cruisers as well, and that's going to cause additional problems for me. Unless I have them just on the top, then I can probably get away with having them on just one side of the cruiser and docking them to the top and bottom and not really worrying about it. But I don't know. We'll see. That's going to be just about it for this weekly whip. I didn't want to do a huge video. I just wanted to say that I'm about to make some huge sweeping changes, and it's going to take me a little while to do that. So instead of doing my usual kind of speed recordings working on the base, there's going to be so much work going on, and a lot of it's going to be very tedious, because I'm probably going to be tearing apart most of what you see here. At least that's my idea. I never follow my ideas all the way through the way I think I will, so it's just going to evolve and change as we go. I may do a couple of smaller updates as I progress on the base, because I'm sure I'll get to a point where I get fed up, or I get to a that's good enough for now kind of state. But hopefully I want to start adding some color, get rid of a lot of this gray. I would also love to get rid of that salvager back there and make something different, but currently it's the best little pirate hunter I have, and so it stays for now until I make something better. I'm probably going to, like I said earlier, make a dedicated salvage ship and then a dedicated pirate hunter of some sort. I may even be able to use the cruiser as a pirate hunter. We'll see. It's not going to be optimized for player use because I do intend on it being a drone, but the fighters are not currently optimized as drones. They're optimized for player use. And so we'll just kind of see where all of that goes. But yeah, that'll be it for this week's Whip Report. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you on the Shattered Skies server. If you decide to join up, drop me a line. I'm not accepting faction members at the moment because I'm pretty much like a solo builder, but I am more than welcome to, there's a couple of pretty good factions on the server, and I'm more than welcome to help you get into one of those or start your own, or just give you some tips, hang out with me in chat, join up in the TeamSpeak, do whatever you like. So otherwise, yeah, everybody out there, you guys have a great day, and keep flying.